Welcome back, Jeremy Pena Power Stroke. Welcome to the show, Mr. Yordan Alvarez, hittingbombs.com. What a game. Look, Javier didn't have his best game. He wasn't terrible. I mean, we didn't give up any runs, but the offense showed up. They win a getaway game where they have a day off, and they go to their second home in Arlington. We'll talk about this. JV, some good news, and a lot more on this edition of Locked On Astros. Let's go.
Yainer Diaz, this is Locked On Astros.
Hello and welcome to Locked On Astros, your daily Astros podcast. Here are your hosts, Eric the Man Huysman and Brett H-Town Wheelhouse Chancey.
We are Locked On Houston Astros, and we hope that you join us for a daily Locked On Astros podcast. My name is Eric Huysman. I am somewhere here, and you can find me on X at Eric Talkstros. You can find the show at Locked On Astros, your team every day. Thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day. Whether it's on YouTube, go and subscribe to us. Go and make us your first listen. Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcasts, go and check out the Locked On Astros podcast. Today's episode is brought to you by eBay Motors. If you want to get to the game, you got to have a car. So from brakes to exhaust kits and beyond, eBay Motors has over 122 parts to keep your ride or die alive. With all the parts you need at the prices you want, it's easy to bring home that win. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions do apply. eBay Motors guaranteed fit, only available to U.S. customers. And Brett, I didn't see you there. How you doing?
Hey, what's up, man? Look, it is definitely a night that I don't want to be remembered because I'm not the one who provided the power and provided the punch tonight. This Houston Astros team came into tonight knowing they had to win, and we'll talk about Yordan Alvarez's comments on that post game with Julie Morales. But this is a great game all around. Javier didn't have great command. He was throwing more balls than strikes, but he kept the ball down. They were getting outs. He wasn't giving up runs. And that's what you have. You don't have to have your best stuff for this team to win and perform. And, when this offense for Toronto gets going and they do have the star power, they are a formidable opponent. And they prove that they weren't much of an opponent this week. I mean, the only game they were really competitive was the game they won 2-1 off of Schneider, who's the left fielder. I didn't even know who the guy was until I got to the stadium. Great mustache and cool glasses, by the way, but I didn't know who he was until he hit that 2-run bomb that nearly went over my head in the Crawford boxes. But Eric, this is a great game. Thank y'all for tuning in. All the interaction we've had with y'all from opening day till now. I'm excited to be told y'all, don't worry. This is a marathon, not a sprint. The sky's not falling. Dana Brown even said today on the radio, the sky's not falling. It's not over. Don't panic. And this team shows up, Eric. As long as everybody in the lineup is doing something, like John Singleton getting a single, that's what this team needs.
Yes, exactly. And this lineup, it did a lot. And this Astros pitching staff, when I say pitching staff, I mean the starters, they are number one in baseball right now, and they are doing so great. I'm about to pull up their stat. I thought I already did it, but they are number one in baseball right now. They by a landslide in terms of ERA, and it's not even close. I mean, if you're looking at what Christian Javier, he did not have his best stuff today, but he went out there and grinded. He threw a whole bunch of balls, and he looked like he was all over the place. Velocity may have been down a little bit. Right. I don't think his mechanics were exactly where he exactly wanted it to be, but he still got through 5 shutout innings. And as opposed to Farmer Valdez in his first game when he had that many walks, he struggled a little bit. But as of right now, this is after today's game. They are this is after today's game, I believe. They are 1.29 ERA.
Right. Well, I'm just saying this is what they posted on the press box notes before the game. Right. They were at 146. And look at that. They were, 0.2 points higher than KC. And now they're, what do you say, 1.26? Is that what that is?
1.29.
1.29. Okay, I will update that. Nice.
Yeah, so they have a 1.02 whip. They have 36 strikeouts. The one thing that is very concerning about the Astros starting staff right now is they do have a lot of walks. They have 17 altogether, and so that is something to keep in consideration. They are third in terms of starting pitchers and walks. So that is something that I think they're trying to adjust. They're trying to pitch around a little bit of wildness. But overall, if you're looking at their whip, they're doing pretty good. I mean, they're fifth in considering all the walks. And if you're looking at the opposing batting average, they're doing a job. They're the Royals for somehow. Man, I know the Royals, they have a young pitching staff. They're allowing a 125 batting average, but the Astros are second at a 181 batting average. So the starters are getting the job done.
Well, so here's the deal. Christian Javier, okay. He has given up the lowest opponent batting average since 2020, Eric, a minimum of 450 innings pitched. Corbin Burns is number one with the 196. Javier is 198. Brandon Woodruff is 202. So Javier finds himself in kind of an elite company crowd right there where, this guy's been a part of a no-hitter. This guy has been a part of some key games. And if Christian Javier can lock it in the way he did, and look, the bullpen when they came in tonight, Montero, Coleman, these guys did their job. That's what you need. We don't need guys to break records every night. We just need guys to throw strikes and miss bats. And that's what they did.
Yes, definitely. So I know we kind of buried the lead a little bit. We kind of jumped to the pitching, but it's amazing that the Astros right now are 2-5 with the starting pitching as good as they've been doing, the hitting as good as they've been doing. It's just the bullpen. The bullpen's been kind of letting down, and the bullpen's going to adjust. They're going to make the adjustments, and they're going to figure things out. But there was a paternity test done at Minute Maid Park today. And we've known this for a long time. Chris Bassitt has known, he's suspected it for a long time. But now, if you're looking at pitchers that Yordan Alvarez has hit the most home runs against, it is Chris Bassitt. He has now 5 career home runs against Chris Bassitt, and he has dominated him. And he dominated this entire game. I mean, he had 5 at-bats. He had 4 hits, every hit. Even the out was, I think, hit further than Jeremy Pena's home run, but every out was 103 or 4 miles per hour or harder. So his bat woke up. So yesterday you're talking about Jobu. Maybe they went ahead and sacrificed some KFC chicken or something for his
movie,
bat.
MLB, yes, and from Major League, not MLB, from Major League. That's what I was thinking. But it is just one of those things where I love that Bassitt was like, he literally asked him, because Yordan said this, he asked him as he was coming off the mound, he said, what can I throw to you that you're not going to hit? Because Julia asked him, she was like, going into this game, how did you feel? He said, I felt good. I told the fellas I could probably get my first home run today. And then she said, do you see Chris Bassitt differently? He said, no, he's just a pitcher that I've faced a ton and I just know him. He walked past me and said, man, can I throw it? Can I throw to get anything past you? And he just shook his head. His second home run, was 109.5 off the bat. His first one was 108.1. And Eric, you have on here, he has the second most multi-home run games in his first career games. Ralph Kiner's number one was 17. Yordan Alvarez is 16. Get this, for his career, Yordan Alvarez ranks now tied for third with 16 with him and none other than Craig Biggio. Right. So Yordan Alvarez is climbing the charts of the greats even as we speak, and he's just getting started. I mean, that second ball that he hit, actually, yes, the second home run he hit, the ball wasn't even in the zone. The third one was 14 feet farther than Jeremy Pena's home run. So had he picked up like 20 feet to the right, 20 feet to the left, we're talking about a 3 home run game. We're talking about a 5-hit game, which Jose Altuve has yet to get a 5 or a 6 hit game in his career.
Yes. And of course, every time George Springer comes to town, they always talk about it. And, George Springer always probably asks him, "Hey, Jose, have you got your 6 hits yet? I still have it. When's your chance?" And so I know Altuve may be like, "I don't have the right parts to get 6 hits," but he doesn't need it. He's going to get 3,000 hits without having a 6-hit game, and that's okay. And so we'll talk about more about what Jose Altuve did, what the rest of the offense did in a second.
All right, this episode is brought to you by eBay Motors. Millions of parts for your MVP. Win every time with parts for your ride or die. Passion, drive, and patience. The Houston Astros, or the winning formula for championships here in this town and for your ride or die. That's right, eBay Motors has everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance. Superchargers, roof racks, exhaust kits, LED headlights, and more. Whether you're into speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has you covered. With over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die, you'll always find exactly what you're looking for. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time or your money back. Because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber, not cash. With all the parts you need at the prices you want, it's easy to make your car the MVP and bring home huge wins. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. eBay Guaranteed Fit only available to U.S. customers.
Hey, Brett, if you need a ticket to a game, where can you go?
Oh, that's right. Well, I was mesmerized. I was mesmerized because I got to go see Ronel Blanco throw a no-hitter. And the friend who offered me the ticket, he only paid $24 for this ticket. But what's cool is you can pay a little bit more. You can pay maybe around $150 and you'll get $20 off. That's right, your first purchase. You just use the code First Pitch. Actually, you can use it between March 25th and April 14th. And it's not just baseball. It's basketball. Thursday night, the Warriors come to town. The Rockets are playing them. Look at the tickets. Go get one. Theater, comedy, whatever you fancy, go check it out. Pick out your specific games and matchups. You don't have to plan far in advance. You can get them the day of. It's so easy. It's so simple. Easy to find and buy. 2 clicks, they're there. You find your seat. You get to see what it looks like from your seat. Lowest price guaranteed. Event cancellation and job loss protection. Flash deals and zone deals are my favorite. And all-in pricing. This is a top-to-bottom lineup like the Houston Astros. Complete coverage. They have you covered. If you find a ticket in the same section in the same row for a cheaper price, they will credit you 110% the difference in your account to give you more money to spend at game time. So go to Game Time app right now. Download the app. Get the code First Pitch, FIRSTPITCH, for $20 off from March 25th to April 14th only with your purchase of $150 or more. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed.
Hey guys, thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day. Whether it's on YouTube, go and subscribe to us. Go and make us your first listen on Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, and go and check out Locked On Sports Today. It's the news you need to know 24/7, and it's streaming all day. And now you can find it on Amazon Fire TV, and it's just look up the free Amazon Fire TV channels, and you can find Locked On Astros on your Fire Stick. So go and check that out. And I wanted to do a little shout out to Mr. Chancey over there. My computer died. A computer I spent a lot of money on to do this podcast. And so now, as I'm trying to find a replacement, he loaned me his old one that he had just kind of sitting around, and that's why I look a little bit different today. I feel like I'm super close up and everything.
But that old, you say old, but that is a nice Lenovo computer. And because I've changed to a desktop that I use here at the house, I was like, dude, I am not going to let the show be paused or your run be. We're not going to put Eric on the IL. We are a team. We are a package deal. Like you
just didn't want me to do this the whole time.
No, I don't want to get the Blair Witch Project version of Locked On Astros. That's kind of what I was reminded of. But Eric, and I'm glad I had that. And you know what? I bought that computer by inspiration of you telling me you need to get a better computer. Like, your stuff is not too good, bro. And that's what it's about. It's about making it work. And that's what this team's done, Eric, is when one guy doesn't have it, someone else brings it. I don't know if you noticed the in-between innings, but they focused a lot whenever the pitcher changed. They were in the dugout. Yordan was looking at the iPad with Mauricio Dubon, and they were talking about the next at bat. This team is always thinking forward. This team doesn't wallow in defeat. They don't wallow in pity. And that's what I love, because we're hearing rumblings, and we know that JV will be making a rehab start in Sugar Land, Texas. Consolation Field. You want to think that's going to be a packed game? I bet you it is. A future Hall of Famer throwing a game, not as a retired guy, not as an old retired guy who decides to rehash a career. This is Justin freaking Verlander coming to the Sugar Land Space Cowboys for the first time to do a rehab start, and he probably will make another one prior to coming back to the big league roster.
Right. So he's going to be making a start. I think he's throwing a bullpen tomorrow at Minute Park.
Right.
But also he's going to be making a start with Sugarland Space Cowboys. I believe they're going to be facing the Las Vegas Aviators at Constellation Field on Sunday. It's going to be a matinee game. So definitely something where a lot of people can go out, go watch. He wants to build up his pitch count to at least 85 before returning to Major League mound. He's up to about 50 pitches right now. So he wants to get up to maybe 70 in his first start and then 85 in his second start. So if he could do that, he could be back as soon as the final game of the Brave series, which would be on the 17th of April. So could you imagine Justin Verlander coming back to face the Atlanta Braves? That's a much needed arm.
Yeah, definitely. And, you really hope things go well, and you hope the bats, back him up. Joey Loperfido hit his 4th home run. But he only has 4 hits. He has like 12 strikeouts. I mean, it's great. His strikeout rate is insane. And I think this is what's going to happen. Joey's going to make the adjustment. I think right now Joey's swinging for the fences. I think he was licking his chops there in Arlington. He did hit one off of Jack Leiter. He did hit one off of Michael Lorenzen. So 2 quality pitchers, a former top 10 pick by the Rangers and Jack Leiter a couple seasons ago. And I remember interviewing Josh Rojas when he was with us before he was traded, and he talked about getting outside of himself. Reddick helped him focus. Someone's going to get Loperfido focused, because Loperfido, he's a power guy, but he's also a contact guy. He hits for average. And so I think you'll see that tick up. Quincy Hamilton led off today with a home run. He had a double as well. The offense looked good. They just didn't score enough runs. And so it was a fun day game. We got to take a school group there, but I'm excited because if I'm able to make it Sunday, I will be there in the press box watching Justin Verlander deal.
All right, so let's go and look at the offense today. The Astros had 15 hits.
Wow.
They had you had Alvarez with 2 home runs. You had Tucker almost had one, but he kind of had some top spin on the ball, and they were hitting some balls in that eighth inning. But Pena had a home run. Then you had Altuve with a home run. Altuve's home run, that was a line drive laser, and it was just like the Astros looked like they had a plan today. And it's weird how when the Astros are on, they're on. When they're off, they can't buy a hit. And so, but in this game, you had 8 runs. You had Tucker with 2 hits. Alvarez was 4 for 5, and then Altuve, he had that 1 hit but scored 2 runs. But overall, Diaz is just like crushing things right now, and he's leading the American League with hits. He has the most hits. I mean, this catcher that I don't want to say it, but we're supposed to thank somebody.
Whatever. No, say it. No. No, Dusty gets no credit for this. I'm sorry. I mean, he's doing his thing. What he could have done. He could have done this last year. He would have been Rookie of the Year. Let's call a spade a spade. He could have been Rookie.
We took the training wheels off Yainer Diaz and look at him shine. Will he bat what is he batting? 462 with a 1248 OPS all year? No, but he's shown you what he's capable of.
Oh, I mean, dude, Yainer Diaz is an absolute, like in basketball, they say he's a bucket. I think he's a hit. I don't know what you call it, but this dude just grips it and rips it, man. I mean, he is a solid, and his plate discipline's gotten better. There was the one at bat where he was given a second strike right in the zone, and then he swung at a fastball that was probably 2 feet above the zone. It looked like
right.
It almost looked like he jumped to swing at it, but I think he was upset at missing that last pitch, and so he was so. But Jeff Blum on the podcast, or Blummer as we call him, said this is what young hitters do. They get aggressive, they swing out of the zone, then they adjust, and Yainer, we have seen, can make adjustments. So I'm not worried about it. I love the fact that we have that. Can you imagine the Prize Picks winnings tonight after this Astros game? Let me tell you about Prize Picks, there you go. If you download the app today, Prize Picks, you will not be upset. I'm telling you, I've used this app. I love it. Use code LOCKEDONMLB for your first deposit match up to $100. Baseball season is here, whether it's strikeouts, RBIs, or heck, tonight, home runs, hits, multi-hit games. I mean, more or less, you can bet on, add them to your Prize Picks entry today. Get in the playoff action with basketball, win 100 times your money on Prize Picks as you and the world's best players take the game to a new level during basketball postseason. The playoffs begin April 20th. The play-in round is April 16th, 17th, and 19th. They have something for every sports fan, from baseball to basketball, the League of Legends, everything in between. You can pick LeBron. You can bet on Shohei if you see the irony there. Connor McDavid. Heck, let's just use Houston people. Jalen Green is a bucket right now. Cam Whitmore is a bucket right now. I mean, Jacques Lindell is a bucket right now. Bet on him. You want to play alongside guys like Meek Mill, Sugar Shane Mosley, and O'Malley, and your boy H-Town Wellhouse? Well, you can do that. Well, you can't find me in community plays. I'm not there yet, but I'll get there. So $10 into $100 with just a few taps, quick withdrawals, easy gameplay, an enormous selection of players and stat types for you to pick from. It's fun, the #1 fantasy sports app. Download the app today and use the code LOCKEDONMLB for a first deposit match of up to $100. Download the app today, LOCKEDONMLB, for a first deposit match. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy.
Guys, check out Locked On Sports Today, and it's your first ever 24/7 streaming platform out there. It's now on Amazon Fire Stick. Just search the free channels app, and you can find Locked On Sports Today. You can find Locked On Astros. If you want to watch Bryce over the Locked On Rangers podcast to see what he's saying about the Astros as they're about to come to town, you could go and do that. And that's the beautiful thing about this. And before we talk about that little comment, I saw somebody up ahead say that, even with Loperfido with 4 home runs and 12 strikeouts, whatever the stats are, he's doing a lot better than Singleton would be doing. That was his comment. So I thought that was funny.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, I love this team. I love the personality. I think that Joe Espada is the perfect pick. And I know the reason why I'm saying that is people were questioning Espada after that sweep. If you're going to question a team after they go into a funk, then you got to question every single player in the organization. And no one's really willing to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. So I know a lot of people are questioning, especially after Alvarez was struggling a little bit. Well, he's not comfortable hitting second. And I think Joe Espada needs to be fired. And everybody's already talking about Joe Espada needing to be fired. Guys, it was 6 games in. Now the Astros are 2-5. They still have a long way to go. It's a little bit of a hill to climb, but it's okay. 2-5 is better than 0-7. There are still, I think there's one undefeated team, or at least one undefeated team. I mean, winless team out there.
Oh, there is a winless team out there. I don't know.
Yeah. I think so.
Really?
I believe there was. I could be wrong.
Well, here, I'm looking right now. The Miami Marlins are 0-7. Yeah, the Colorado Rockies are 1-6. The Giants are 2-4. The Phillies
Mets are a disaster.
The Mets are the Mets.
With that salary, though.
Yeah, but Eric, they lost everybody that they paid.
Yeah,
They're paying
right.
us now.
And
So
hey,
the
you know what?
Detroit
The Mets
Tigers
may
are
be
4.
sorry, the Marlins may be selling not only because of the slow start, because like 4/5 of their rotation is out for extended periods of.
Arise is on the block, and then someone else I saw is on the block. But hey, I found some more interesting stuff about Ronel Blanco because
Yes.
I know the discussion now goes to is he going to stay as a part of the team? 7-0. Okay. It said 4-0 there a second ago. So this is all of Ronel Blanco's things. First pitcher to throw a no-hitter within his first 8 starts of his career. Okay. Since Arizona right-handed pitcher Tyler Gilbert in 21. Prior to Monday, the last Astros no-hitter was Fromber. Okay, let's see. Blanco was the 18th no-hitter thrown by a pitcher within the first 8 starts. He was a 13th solo no-hitter for the Astros. Let's see what else. The Astros have thrown 6 no-hitters since 2019. No other team has thrown more than 2 during that span. And Astros manager Joe Espada, we talked about last night, became the first manager. So Eric, let me ask you, his first manager to get a win on a no-hitter. You've got to keep Blanco in this rotation.
Yeah.
There's no reason to move him out of the rotation.
A caveat to that. He's got to throw the changeup like he did. So
Well,
he's
obviously, yeah. That's what this all is predicated on, because 10 of his 20 and misses was on the changeup. Exactly. Right. He threw it 3.4% last year. He threw it 33.4%
more than he threw the fastball, curveball, everything else.
Right. But everything was in the 30s. He split it up. He had a third of everything, and he had one, I think, a curveball or something he threw like once or twice. He had like another pitch that he only threw twice.
And he was getting a lot of swings and misses because I think somebody, I forgot who it was. I don't know if it was John Boy or somebody did like some type of, no, it was somebody on Baseball Tonight, and they did a reaction to Vladimir Guerrero facing Blanco, and they were surprised. Oh, it was Ruffalo. That's who it was. And he did it. He was just surprised that he was throwing the changeup. And they're like, dude, the scouting report says you only throw this 8% of the time, and you've thrown it back-to-back times. Why are you throwing it to me? And then he strikes out on it. So, yeah, if he can learn to maintain, it's not just that he threw the changeup, but it's how effective they were, how effective they looked like they were strikes. Then it went out of the zone. They couldn't get a hold of them and everything. So the question is, during spring training, we heard Dana Brown and Joe Espada both say there's a chance of going to a 6-man rotation to kind of ease the burden a little bit. The rotation so far has not been an issue. The bullpen has. So if you take Ronel Blanco out of the bullpen and make him a 6 starter, you're going to weaken the bullpen.
But
so that's the question.
But he's already not in the bullpen.
I know, but you're going to take somebody's arm out. When Justin Verlander comes, you're going to take Dylan Coleman. I know that's not an issue.
Yes. So with JV, we have Fromber, we have Javier, we have Brown, we have JP, and you have Ronel.
Right.
If you have a 6-man rotation and JV's coming back from an injury, you're going to need that extra day. You don't move Ronel into the bullpen, in my opinion.
Right.
Because you keep him there. There's nobody else that he's not a part of the bullpen. He's a starter right now.
Right.
And that's
so
how
I think the bullpen right now, it's like it's Survivor's Island or whatever you call that show. Everybody's going to be trying to be like, I don't want to go down when JV comes up because one of the relievers is going down.
Well, I mean, Coleman is only here because
we know.
France, they say more than likely makes his start Sunday in Arlington.
Right.
So congratulations to them. They just had their second child. They're a family of 4 now. Everybody's doing well. JP and his wife are doing well. There was a picture of them on the broadcast. So that's always happy to them. So from Locked On Astros, from myself and Eric, we say congratulations to JP and his wife, Jess. That's phenomenal. Heck, man, babies abound right now with the Astros. Ronel Blanco having his second child. I mean, that's really cool. These families are expanding. And, as players get older, they have kids, and that's kind of neat to see.
Going back to as we close out the show, Alvarez is 8 for 18 versus Chris Bassitt in his career with 5 home runs. That's
Wow.
domination. That is pure domination. So,
yep. He definitely has nightmares about Yordan Alvarez. It's not Mike Myers. It's not Freddy Krueger. It's Yordan Alvarez keeps him up at night.
And Christian Javier did his best Wild Thing impression today from Major League, since we're going that route. But he did a good job. And overall, he didn't have his velocity was down. That is something to monitor. But I think that was more his mechanics was off today. So we'll have to see how he did. But I think that's 11 straight scoreless innings for Christian Javier start the season. So you can't complain too much.
I'll take the scoreless with no runs any day of the week. So, hey, go get an off day, boys. Enjoy your off day. And you know what? Let's go to Arlington and take over Minute Maid Park and make them our you know what.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and talk a little bit more about the Rangers series tomorrow and give you a little bit of preview. But that's all we got for this edition of the Locked On Astros podcast. My name is Eric Huysman. He is Brett Chancey. We are the Locked On Astros podcast, your only daily daily Astros podcast out there. And we will see you tomorrow. And Brett, what do we always say?
Go Stros.
Go Stros.
So why do you say it after I say it?
Whatever. I say it much better.
Whatever. Then don't have